younger me was watching this, to be honest, he probably wouldn't even have clicked on this video. But if he did, the moment I was going to start talking, he would just click off, because this has no interest in him. Why would he want to spend time writing down his thoughts or who he's grateful for? It almost seemed, as he would say, gay, but it really isn't. This is these are like one of the best habits that you can get into. So I'll just get straight into it. So first of all, what is gratitude journaling? Well, it's a way of making you spend more time in the state of being grateful. So what I do is that the moment I wake up, I grab the pen and the notepad, and then I start writing. I write a few things, like 5 things I'm grateful for, and I do that every morning. And by doing this, it makes me associate waking up with gratitude. So every morning when I wake up, I'll feel a sense of gratitude, which is awesome. And I'm excited for you to feel the same. And what it also does is that when you're just walking throughout life, you just pick a leaf off a tree and you look at it, you're like, yeah, I'm actually grateful for this leaf, or I'm actually grateful for my water bottle. I can just name out a few things in my room. I'm grateful for my plant. I'm grateful for my bed. I'm grateful for my lamp. It's easy, and in this way you get to be grateful for all of these smaller things. So I wouldn't recommend doing it on your computer, because it takes longer if you have to write in your hand. So you're longer in the state of being grateful. And so just do that. Add it as a habit. Every morning when you wake up, you immediately grab your pen and your notepad, and even though you might write some silly stuff at first because you're just waking up, it doesn't really matter. It's just that you write some things and they're not the same every day. Just pick something new. Say, today I'm grateful for my alarm clock. It can be everything, or your parents, or whatever. Just write something every day. Now I'm gonna get to the other part of journaling, which is deep journaling, and this is where especially my younger self would click off, because it's harder. You have to do it longer, but just try to stick with me and I'll explain what it is. So journaling is just like, if you've ever felt this, it's like when you go about your daily life and you think about something constantly in your mind while doing other stuff. So as I said, with overthinking, you would be thinking of something when you're going to the gym, when you're going to school, when you're going to work. All of these things that you're thinking, it's because your mind wants to think more of them. So you sit down and you grab a pen and a paper and you just write out like the thought. If you don't know what the thought is, just look at your wall and think, what have I been thinking recently? And then you get into mind, you're like, oh, I've been thinking about why I'm not progressing in the gym. Let's just say that was the case. So you grab your pen, you write on paper, why am I not progressing in gym? And then you just ask like questions like, well, why am I thinking like this? What does this mean? What can I do about that? What happens if? Why do I think like this? Ask yourself a bunch of questions, but it's gonna be hard to get into because this takes longer time. Like, I'm also like I'm not completely new to it, but I'm a bit more new to it. So I'm not getting as deep as people who've been doing it for a long time. So it's like a skill. At first, you won't be able to write as much or go as deep as people who've done it for a long time. So I just recommend you create a routine. So for me, every day, I just do it in the evening. So when I've ate dinner, and I don't have anything else that day to do. Before I go to bed, I sit down and I journal for about, I haven't gotten longer so I can do it for more than half an hour, and I still only write like 1 page, but you know, you just write like quantity, and don't write it like these diaries when you're younger, because you're thinking, oh, what if somebody finds it, you know? That's not how you want to write it. You want to write it for yourself, so whatever, if you get like a thought into your mind, just write it out, because the reason this stops, you know, your overthinking is because the stuff that you had in your mind, it comes onto the paper, and then you'll feel this when it feels like you don't know what more to write, and you're finished, and it's like, you know, then it kind of, the thought goes out of your mind, and it's not gonna bother you anymore. It's kind of like, you know, journaling. If your thoughts were like a, you know, a string. If your thoughts were like a string, and it was all jumbled up, and there were knots all over it, like knots on the string, and you started to unravel it and make it straight. That's how journaling works. It's just your mind's thoughts. I hope you'll benefit from these. I'll just quickly rewind up all of it. So gratitude journaling, do it in the morning, do it on paper, write a few things you're grateful for, don't let it be the same. Deep journaling, have a routine. For me, I do it every night before I go to bed. Do it at the same time. Look at your wall, ask yourself, what have I been thinking about? Then ask questions like, what does this mean? What happens if? What can I do about that? Why am I thinking like this? And just write for the writer, yeah? I hope this will help you just as much as it has helped me. I believe this is one of the best gifts, and I feel bad that I didn't start doing it earlier, because I've been missing out, especially with the deep journaling. If you like this video and you'd want to see more videos from a smaller YouTuber like me, make sure to click the subscribe button. As always, keep putting one foot in front of the other.